You know, when I'm in calls, I like to send discreet messaging about what it is that I want to do when I get older. Discreet messaging. So discreet.
As I'm guessing you've noticed by now, this video is a little different to the content I usually do. This is part 1 of a 12-month series, Be Spontaneous, where I try to do something I've never done before every month. Maybe it's something I didn't think I was capable of, maybe it's something I never thought of before, maybe it's just something I didn't have the motivation to do. I just want to push myself beyond what I think is possible. So without further ado, welcome to Be Spontaneous. Let's get into it. Our story begins a couple of months back, when the summer was just starting. I was just dreaming of going to an Ivy League college, as I think most people do, when my mom came to me with news of a new summer program at Cornell. Despite that I doubted I'd ever get in, I started writing essays, some more serious than others. Greetings, mortals! I am conjured forth from the eerie depths of the country, a place where shadows linger and high schools are cloaked in darkness, teeming with students of questionable intellect. But fear not, for I am here to illuminate the darkness. From the tender age of 2, I have been homeschooled, granted the freedom to cultivate my mystical talents. At the mere age of 9, I embarked on a quest to unravel the mysteries of video games, delving into the arcane knowledge of JavaScript on code.org at the behest of my mortal father. Yeah, I think it's pretty clear why I didn't think I'd be getting in. And then I did. I would tell you more about that, but see, here's the thing. I don't have any evidence of this at all. I don't know where the email went. The most thing I have is a text message. Just so you know the news everyone else does, I got in the Cornell thingy. Oh, heck yeah, my guy. That's it. That's what I've got. You were probably expecting more, but hey, it's hard to record something before you know the story starts. Next time, I guess I'll know to record when opening an email. So, this is where our story begins. A weirdo and a weird class I never thought I'd get into. This was not some small thing for me. This was something I never thought I'd get into. So, I immediately started working extremely hard on it. I spent all my time carefully chipping away at any schoolwork I had, and any time I had a free moment, I didn't because I was careful to spend it all working on this project, studying case after case after case, pages and pages of content. Useful content, admittedly, but so much of it I can't even begin to explain how much work it was. Because this was not a normal Cornell class. This was a summer intensive, meaning that every day we had a week's worth of work. Getting all that into one single day, it took a lot of time. In fact, so much time, I wasn't doing anything else. When I was paired up with a group of friends who ended up being from China, well, I just decided I'd flip my sleep schedule around. Not that that was a problem or anything. Honestly, it worked fairly well. I just slept during the day directly after class and woke up at about 5 p.m. I was getting about 4 to 5 hours of sleep a day, which somehow did not manage to catch up to me during that month-long period. And every day I would drink a Diet Coke, starting my habit of counting how many Diet Coke cans I've had in a week.
Well, empty Diet Coke. This is the life, dude. Okay, we've made it. We've made it to the recycling can. All right.
I would send the amount of Diet Coke cans I drank a day to one of my friends, Charlie, who I would message about it every day. I also started streaming in the afternoons when I had nothing going on because I would be sitting waiting for a specific email or a reply from a fellow classmate, and it was just more fun to do art during that time. But I found that I could get a lot more art done if someone was watching me and keeping me accountable for not falling asleep. As you would expect for a class of this kind, there were high moments and there were low moments, and moments when I was literally facepalming, wondering what I just did with my life. But in general, I was feeling pretty good about what I was getting done. Pretty soon, though, the finals came around, and that was stressful in and of itself. There was an assignment just the day before about networking and who you knew, and then all of a sudden we had a 48-hour countdown on a specific case to make a full presentation about everything we understood about the case. I immediately, of course, messaged the people in the class that I wanted to team with, and surprisingly, they also wanted to be in a group. So we made a group of, I believe it was 6 after a few complications of people joining and leaving and not quite being sure where they were or were not. I am assigned to do the starting slides, the ones that say what's happening, where you are, what you're doing, why you're there, why you're listening to us speak. Nothing that interesting, but I was willing to take up such a small role because I also took it upon myself to calculate the saturation year for the current market. You see, eventually, if you sell enough goods to enough people, people aren't going to want any more of that good unless it's something that you need constantly, like food. That's called the saturation point, and it's terribly hard to calculate if you don't have the right numbers already in your case, which we didn't. So we immediately went straight into making up equations, which definitely worked extremely well, and eventually I got so confused and bamboozled at about 6 a.m. that I thought I'd done it, and I sent in a graph that was an exponential. If, have you noticed something about exponential graphs? They go like that, and that isn't a year. The next morning, I got one of my friends from the case to help me out, and she, from there on, picked up on the many mistakes I'd made that evening, probably due to sleep deprivation, and we slowly worked out what exactly we were going to do. And then failed again because there wasn't enough information in the case for this number in reality. We ended up going to many different websites, even going so far as to ask professionals, and we couldn't get anything. So, in the end, we just made a couple of quick assumptions and called it good enough. And we called it an estimate instead of an exact value. After over 24 hours working on this one number of at least 18 hours of active productive work by me with almost no sleep, we were starting to run low on time. I'd made the classic mistake. You see, I knew that my part was easy, so I'd put minimal effort into the few slides I'd put up so far. The few ones I had up would need review, and the ones I still needed to make were many, let alone the script that I clearly needed because I don't talk off the cuff very well. So that meant that I still had an entire script and slides to do. So it was looking like the third night in a row where I would be getting little to no sleep. And in fact, on this night, it was no sleep at all.
So tonight is night 2 of the business hackathon, and apparently I didn't stream. It's 2 a.m. now, apparently. My parents have come down to tell me that they're gonna stay up with me so that we can all go to bed at the same time, because family bonding. So they're making coffee at 2 a.m. in the other room. I've got about an hour till other people start waking up again and asking me for things. So I've decided to take this hour to take a shower, because I haven't done that in like 2-3 days. I look terrible. This is my lovely sleep-deprived complexion. And when I'm out of the shower, I'll show you guys some of the slides that See, it's such a good sign that I can't even speak anymore. That's gonna go great for presenting. So I wrote down some tongue twisters that I'm gonna do right before I present, because hopefully it'll help the stuttering. Because I do stutter a lot when I'm reading off of pages. I just go. So hopefully this will help. I'm trying to fix my hair. I think I'm making it worse. Good signs that I need to shower. So I'm gonna go clean myself, and I will see you all in a bit.
I put together my starting slides, which wasn't that difficult, seeing as everyone knew the basics of the case. I just had to list them out. I made a couple of fun graphics. I don't know if I still have them, but if so, they're going here and there. Wow, aren't they great? And I posted my slides to the official PowerPoint and set up for the saturation rate, which everyone quickly included into all of their calculations for things such as should we go into the market or not? Why or why not? How many years do we think we can expect to sell our goods based upon how quickly we make our goods? Things of the like. We ended up having actually a fairly strong PowerPoint, but now, with less than a day left, I didn't really know my lines. And with the last of our time ticking down, I, of course, resorted to stranger methods. AbbVie on Bioanalytical Services, or ABS, is a company founded by Dr. Jack Hennian and Thomas Kurtz, which specialized in bioanalysis and R&D, as you can see here. Finally, after what seems like thousands of mishaps, the time is here. The final presentation. I set up my Zoom. I make sure that I've got my hair right ish, as best as you can for how long I've been awake. My clothes as unrumpled as they can be, and my face looking mildly less grumpy than a dead zombie. I join the call, and I am met with Shakira's top 20 hits. I'm not kidding. That's what I saw when I joined in. Our teacher was playing Shakira for the first 30 minutes while we all signed in. It was very funny and completely set the tone for the rest of the class. Fun fact, if you want your class final project to not be stressful, just play Shakira. Whenever you have a break or whenever you aren't talking, just play Shakira. I don't know, just throw it around in there. It's great. It's a perfect fix. We go through the entire presentation and everything goes well. And I come out the other side and I say my goodbyes to everyone, and suddenly it's over. Really over. And I didn't realize until that moment just how much this had all meant to me. I never thought that I would be in any Ivy School class, let alone one in the subjects I'm interested in, both technology and business at the same time. I didn't believe that I would ever get to connect with a professor like I did in that class. I didn't even know that in classes in college you could make jokes and people would actually laugh. I got an A plus. I know. I did it. Woo! The crowd goes wild. My participation score was through the roof, and I had clearly done okay enough on my assignments that it wasn't a problem, and I had put in my saturation point for that final project, which made me good enough there as well. But it was bittersweet to get that email because it meant it's over. But that's the point of this. That's the point of this challenge. Every month, I want to do something new. I want to have something to talk about, something to say. I want to be spontaneous and I want to learn how, even when in the darkest times, even when putting yourself through something you don't think you can get through, maybe you come out the other side and maybe you sit there and you cry.
Stupid little, my stupid little image. I'm sorry. I'm like an idiot right now. It's good tears, I promise. But it's also really bad tears because now it's kind of over, you know? But,
This isn't something that most people probably know, but I'm not a crier. I don't cry about things in the hardest of situations. And this broke me, the fact, even the idea that this was over. But I don't think it is. This moment is important. The moment you're watching this. It's the moment you decide, are you going to join me? Because, sheesh, if 1 month of doing this, 1 month has me sobbing over the fact that I have to go do something else now, is a testament to anything that we can do when we put our minds to it. What if we all got together and every month, every single month, we posted something just 1 year, just 1 year to be spontaneous every month? It doesn't have to be a big Cornell class. It can just be starting to stream. It can be, deciding to go outside when you haven't in a while, trying to get your steps. Who knows? But what if we all just band together to be spontaneous? So, are you with me? Stay spontaneous.
Advion Bioanalytical Services, or ABS, is a company founded by Dr. Jack Hennian and Thomas Kurtz, which specialized in bioanalysis R&D, as you can see here. Originally, ABS started as a contract research organization or CRO, leveraging Jack Hennian's expertise in mass spectrometry. ABS quickly established itself as a leader in the MS services. Over time, ABS expanded its service offerings to include a broader range of bioanalytical and analytical chemistry services. This included supporting medical companies through various stages of drug development, from discovery through clinical trials, as you can see on screen. Eventually, as ABS invested in research and development to stay on top of upcoming technologies, they developed ideas for some of their own products, such as the ESI chip and Nanimate, entering them into the product development and into the red ocean world of microfluidics. Upon entering this new field in 2001, ABS changed their name to the more memorable Advion Biosciences, or AB, and started to work on the ESI chip and Nanimate system. The chip and Nanimate, it combines ESI chips, a small silicon wafer with a high voltage nozzle for ionization, and Nanimate, a new invention by AB, adding well plates and a tip to place samples more accurately. Guess what? It's time for the next slide. This combination brought forth many advantages over competitors, such as having a higher sample throughput, improved reproducibility, reduction of per sample cost, limitation of cross-contamination, and improved sensitivity. It was also easily scalable and had many more applications. Advion has a wealth of resources ranging from human resources such as Jack Hennion, who was not only knowledgeable but also well known in the MS market, giving them a head start, to intellectual property such as their ESI chip and Nanimate technologies.
They also had several quite interesting processes, such as partnering with many companies to redistribute their nanomate product to other companies, or their agreement with Corning to produce the ESI chip, which they honored. However, they kept their own cleanroom facility to continue research and development on new chip designs. They also had some very strong values, such as customer and employee satisfaction. However, as noted in a quote from Kurtz, this meant that we sometimes had to turn business away. Guess what? It's time for a new slide. All in all, 8B has a great deal of capacity and room to grow. New slide. New slide. But what kind of opportunities do these resources supply? Well, in the past, Dr. Jack Hennigan and Thomas Kurtz saw a promising market in the LCMS machines and founded AB. In the present, in early 1997, ABS was growing rapidly, but Hennigan started researching miniaturization, leading to the ESI chip and nanomate system. What about the future? In early 2003, there seems to be a significant momentum in the small molecule market. However, this would take many resources from the niches they currently support. Should they transition? Eyes blue like the Atlantic, and I'm going down like the Titanic. Eyes blue like the Atlantic, and I'm going down like the Titanic. Advion Bioanalytical Services, or ABS. Why don't we put a hyphen? Advion Bioanalytical Services, or ABS, is a company founded by Dr. Jack Hennigan and Thomas Kurtz, which specialize in bioanalysis, R&D, as you can see here. Originally, ABS started as a contract research organization, or CRO, leveraging Jack Hennigan's expertise in mass spectrometry. ABS quickly re-established itself as a leader in MS services. Over time, ABS expanded its service offerings to include a broader range of bioanalytical and analytical chemistry services. This included supporting medical companies through various stages of drug development, as you can see on screen. Eventually, as ABS invested in research and development to stay at top of upcoming technologies, they developed ideas for some of their own products, such as the ESI chip and nanomate, entering them into product development and the red ocean world of microfluidics. Upon entering this field in 2001, ABS changed their name to the more memorable Advion Biosciences, or AB, and started work on the ESI chip and nanomate system. The chip nanomate combines the ESI chip, a small silicon wafer with a high voltage nozzle for ionization, and the nanomate, a new invention by AB, adding well plates and a tip to place samples more accurately. This combination brought forth many advantages over competitors, such as having a higher sample throughput, improved reproducibility, reduction per sample of cost, limitation of cross-contamination, and improved sensitivity. It was also an easily scalable technology and had many more applications. Advion has a wealth of resources, ranging from human resources, such as Jack Hennigan, who was not only knowledgeable but also well known in the MR market, giving them a head start, to intellectual property, such as their ESI chip and nanomate technologies, for which they had many patents. They also had several quite interesting processes, such as partnering with many companies to distribute their Nanomate product to other companies, or their agreement with Corning to produce the ESI chip, which they honored. However, they kept their own cleanroom facility to continue research and development on new chip designs. They also had some very strong values such as customer and employee satisfaction. However, as noted in a quote from Kurtz, this meant that sometimes we had to turn business away. All in all, AB has a great deal of capacity and room to grow. But what kind of opportunities do these resources supply? Well, in the past, Dr. Jack, Henny Yun, and Thomas Kurtz saw a promising market in LCMS machines and founded ABS. In the present, in early 1997, ABS was growing rapidly, but Henny Yun started researching the miniaturization leading to the ESI chip and nanomate system for AB. What about the future? Early 2003, there seems to be significant momentum in the small molecule market. However, this would take many resources from the niches they currently support. Should they transition? We'll discuss this point further through our presentation.